perfect. All right.
All right, ready to go?
Let's do it.
Power 100, it's your Power Breakfast with Archie and Bretz. Now, North Queensland is a buzz at the moment with military activity as Exercise Talisman Sabre continues. Now, last week, we heard the Australian perspective on the exercise, but Talisman Sabre wouldn't be what it is without involvement from our friends from overseas, and that includes, of course, the United States of America.
And we are very excited to have joining us in the studio right now to share the US perspective on Talisman Sabre. Welcome to the Power Breakfast, Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Blankenship and Major Michael Reinersman. Welcome to the studio.
Hey,
Thanks,
thank you,
guys.
Great to be here.
Guys, perhaps you could both start by telling us about what does Talisman Sabre mean to you?
Yeah, for me, Talisman Sabre, it's a huge exercise. If the World Cup is going on, this is a World Cup of exercises going on. 30,000 participants, 13 nations, and really the centerpiece of the U.S. and Australian alliance and our military relationship. Exercise that goes all the way back to the battlefields of World War I, reinforced all the way through World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and all the way up to where we are. We have incredible shared beliefs, values, and interests in a free and open Indo-Pacific to protect our way of life, and we're really demonstrating that here, practicing and getting better every day, and using all the capabilities we have in our armed forces, working together to practice that in real time.
And Major Reinersman, I know that you've been managing the US public affairs throughout Talisman Sabre. What for you are some of the big moments of the exercise so far?
So far, most of the big moments we've had, just yesterday we did an amphibious landing down at Midge Point. So that went very well. And we're doing a lot on the logistics piece. This is a multi-domain exercise. So as far as aviation, logistics, infantry, artillery, we're using all sorts of military to complete this exercise. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is Lieutenant Colonel Blankenship. I know that you have 28 years of service with Defence. What have you noticed that has changed over your time working in this space?
Mm-hmm. Well, technology advances all the time. So we talk about all domain operations, which is an evolution of our joint forces of Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines working together. Now we're talking about air, land, sea, space, and cyberspace capabilities, all converging to give us and our allies an advantage in modern warfare. So imagine all the technology that goes along with that, incorporated with all of our traditional capabilities of infantry on the ground, back to the origins of our alliance. So it's a very exciting time, and I've seen that evolve over 28 years, and some of this technology is evolving by the day, and we're actively using and exercising, experimenting with that during these exercises.
Well, Colonel Blankenship, you've got quite a job. According to my sheet here, you are in charge of safeguarding populations who are vulnerable to natural disasters. So what does that involve as we see more and more of these around the world?
Yeah, so I understand, this is a very flood-prone area. And
so I'm wearing thongs because you never know. Yeah, you never know when it could get wet.
The thong, flip-flops.
Flip-flops, sorry. Yes.
Prepare to jump in a raft and swim away. So when disaster comes and affects civilian populations, the military has dual-use capability, transport planes, transport helicopters, other engineer, medical assets that we can apply in support of the civil authorities that we take our direction from. And that also applies to large-scale combat operations, we would say the results of man-made disaster. So in this case, we are looking to mitigate harm to civilian populations and then respond if there is harm to civilian populations. So that's part of the job that I do as the Civil Affairs Director.
Question for you both. The idea of the Aussie larrikin and maybe the cheeky Australian was very much born during wartime for our country. You've obviously worked very closely with Australian Defence. You can be honest with us. We won't tell anyone. Is the Australian smart-ass attitude still around? And is it something that lives up in 2023, the idea of maybe the little bit of the Aussie who's willing to push the envelope a bit?
The silence says everything. You stalled.
Can we speak candidly? I think that the sense of humor and the face value, what you see is what you get, is really appreciated from the American perspective, because we are very much muddy boots. We like to get stuff done. We're very practical, and I think we're very like-minded, and we really appreciate the Aussie sense of humor. It's a lot of fun.
Does anything surprise you about the Australian soldiers at all?
Nothing much to me. I would say just working with the Australians. I mean, it's been great out there at the Townsville Field Training Exercise. Just coordinating with them with their combat training center. Very austere environment that they provide. So that's really good. And it's really realistic training.
And they're tough.
It's very tough.
Physically fit. And share all the interoperable tactics and techniques that we use. So we're able to shoulder to shoulder do all of the same things: shoot, move, communicate together. And in some cases, like climbing up Stewart Mountain there on Laverack Barracks, trying to keep up.
The physical fitness definitely applies to the Australians in defence. That does not go to radio hosts, I promise. Well, talking about Australians, this is obviously your temporary home throughout Talisman Sabre. So we thought we'd play a quick game with you both. Okay. We wanted to test how well you might have got to know Australia by showing you some famous Australians. We've got some pictures in front of us here.
Oh, no.
We show you these, and it's your job to identify who this is. So these are very famous Australians. Okay, this is your first one.
That is the Prime Minister?
Very
well
good.
done.
Bingo.
Very good.
Do we know his name? Keeping in mind, I know Joe Biden very well.
I know. Well, Simon Elbow.
Yes, Elbow.
Yes, thank you.
Well
There
done.
we go. Elbow.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right.
number 2.
I think this is a little bit of an easier one for you both.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
The new movie.
A famous actress.
Say the Barbie. It just came out.
Barbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie,
Yes.
2
Well
from
done,
2.
Major.
Okay.
Well done,
All
Major.
right.
Well done.
Okay, number 3.
Oh, that's a.
I haven't had it
meat
yet, though.
pie.
I haven't had it
Delicious. We've eaten them in the in the mess.
Is that the lamb?
We'll give it
the
to
lamb
you.
pie?
I
It's
heard,
lamb pie.
I heard
I heard
meat
pie.
pie.
Meat pie.
shepherd's
It's
I heard
pie.
meat
Shepherd's
pie, yeah,
It is a meat pie. Congratulations.
I will say the food here has been amazing.
Yeah.
At Laverack Barracks, the food has been unbelievable.
There you go. Okay, meat
All
pies on service at Laverack.
I will
All
say,
right. 3 for 3.
this is going to be a real tough one, but who is this man? In front of my face. Who is this man? Now you're in Townsville. There's a clue.
Townsville. It's tough. Looks like a tough
Team.
guy.
He's like
Maybe,
the Pat Mahomes of Townsville.
Rugby.
Yes.
Rugby star.
You're getting
That,
close.
we'll give
Yep.
Jonathan
Rugby
Thurston.
star.
Jonathan Thurston. We'll give you that.
With the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Hey! All right.
Game coming
4
up.
for 4.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, and your 5th and final, very famous Australian that we need you to identify. Who is this?
I recognize the beard.
Yeah. Archie.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Archie!
oh, it is.
Hey!
We even tricked you. Took the hat off.
Oh, he took the hat off.
Took the hat
Okay.
off. Yeah, that was a
Okay.
bit of a giveaway.
That is the man who has been interviewing you. That is Archie, but you picked it. Really hoping you wouldn't get that one to blow it to
No,
his
no.
ego. But
No.
we're a bit.
Ken, let us know
Way to
who
go,
all the
mate.
famous people are here.
Listen, 5 from 5. You've clearly done very well getting into the Australian spirit. So thank you so much to Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Blankenship and Major Michael Rosman. We're so excited to have you here. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Well, thank you.
for Talisman Sabre
Well, thank
and being part of it.
If I could just add that on August 5th is a community day. It's our way of saying thank you. So that will be on August 5th here in Townsville and also at Ingham and at the Charter Towers Showgrounds.
Showgrounds.
We usually say fairgrounds.
Not the fairgrounds,
back
showgrounds.
the showgrounds.
That's all right.
So we'll be there. It's our way of saying thank you. There will be a flyover. There will be static displays and personnel to meet.
Great.
Guys, thank you so much. A pleasure and an honor actually to chat to both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Tim.
for having us.